Welcome back to Good Dates Gone Bad. I'm your host, Lee. I wanted to tell y'all a really funny dating story. It actually made the book, Good Dates Gone Bad, Volume 1, and it's story number 2 called Messed Up Man. I'm going to get into it. It's basically about this woman that after college, she moved to Atlanta and got a job at a department store and had a guy roommate that she didn't know until she moved to Atlanta. It was supposed to be a setup thing where her friend and the brother were supposed to be moving. Anyway, long story short, only the brother came. So they got to know each other after work and would go hang out at bars and have a cocktail and, just hang out. And they found that because they were both attractive, that people would catch on that they weren't really together, that they had no chemistry like that they could be approachable. And people come up all the time. Well, this one in particular day, this guy came up to the woman and introduced himself, and the guy and girl started hitting it off, and everything was cool. She ended up giving him her phone number, and he called her the next day and asked if she wanted to go to dinner. And she lived in like the Buckhead area and he lived in Kennesaw, and they agreed that they would just meet at the restaurant because he offered to pick her up. She said, don't bother. By the time you do that in rush hour traffic, eats up a whole hour or longer of your day. So she agreed to meet him there at the restaurant. And she asked him where he'd like to go, and he said a restaurant called Joe's. Well, she wasn't from that city, and she realized, okay, well, maybe he must know that it's a good restaurant. He also knew that she was from Florida and that, it had to have to be a nice restaurant. So he was all excited about it. He couldn't wait to show her this restaurant called Joe's. So the big day came, and she's got the address. He gives her the address, and she's plugged it in, and she's driving to the restaurant. And it takes her about 30, 45 minutes just to get to the area. And it's actually up in near where he lived. So she never went to his house or anything, but it turns out it was kind of up in that area. So she gets to the address, and she calls him up and says, "Are you sure this is where we're meeting? What's the name of it?" And he says, "Joe's." And she's thinking, oh my God, it's Joe's Crab Shack. So that was no elegant restaurant there. So anyway, red flag number 1, major turnoff. So she parks the car, goes in. Meanwhile, there's all these kids running by, and the kids are running around like monkeys, and the patrons are all like big-bellied, kind of country-looking people. Okay. And she thought, oh my God, what did I get myself into? So she goes up to the bar and she orders a beer, and goes and finds like a bench style. They're all like these bench style, picnic table style seats. So she's mortified. She's thinking, okay, I'm just going to go along with it. Maybe he's a cool guy, whatever. We'll do this date. She was hungry. So she sits down and kind of straddles her leg over the seat facing the door, and she calls him, and he says, yeah, that's the place. It's definitely the place. I'm on my way. So she's waiting for her beer, and he walks in, and he's holding a long stem red rose to Joe's Crab Shack. And, he's a cute guy and all, but he's got this a nice like sports jacket on, and from a distance it looked like it could have been leather, but it was a sports jacket and jeans and loafers, and he was dressed kind of matching her style. I mean, she had her twin set sweater set on and trousers and loafers on from work. She came straight from work. So he comes up and he gives her a kiss on the cheek and says, hey, hope everything was okay with your drive, and gave her the rose. She's like, thank you for the rose. You didn't have to do that. And it's very too fancy for this restaurant for sure. So by that time, her beer shows up and she starts drinking it. And he says, oh, I'll have the same thing. So he sits down the same way that she's sitting. They both are sitting on the bench with a leg thrown over. And he just jumps right into it. He's carrying something under his arm and she's thinking, what's that? And he says, I can see you're looking at it. This is my photo album. I wanted to show you some pictures. And she's thinking, okay, what is he going to show me? So he proceeds to show her pictures of his longer haired hippie days, which she was not into long haired dudes at all. He's sitting on his Harley Davidson. And then he proceeds to show her pictures of his children, which she didn't know he had children, but okay. And then he comes across a picture of his ex-wife. And he pauses. And then he gets teary-eyed. By then his beer shows up and she's proceeding to drink more of her beer because she's thinking, what is happening right now? And he starts sniffling. And she said, oh my God, what is wrong? He said, she's thinking that his wife died, okay? No. He said, my wife and I got divorced. This is my ex-wife. And then he starts to say, we got divorced because we used to have threesomes and she connected more with the woman that we had threesomes with. And she's stunned. The girl on the date is stunned. Like, not only did you show up, did we book an appointment, a date to be here at this restaurant, which is totally cheesy, not her style. But then he starts giving her a red rose, totally out of character for this place. Then he gives her all these pictures, shows her all these pictures of like his days where he had long hair, his children, and now his ex-wife, and why his wife left him, and he's crying about it. And she's thinking, oh my God, this guy is not ready to be dating, and he is not my type at all. So she just stands up and puts her arm around him and gives him kind of a half hug and says, you and I are going to be good friends, but I can't continue this date. And she says goodbye and she leaves. No food. Has to drive all the way back home now in rush hour traffic still because she'd only been there maybe 20 minutes. This guy dropped a bomb on her. So guys, please don't do that. Girls, don't do that, please. Nobody wants that much melodrama within the first 20, 30 minutes of a date at a crappy place to begin with. So if you're going to go take somebody on a date, make sure they understand what the dress code is and how casual it is or how dressy it is. Please kind of match those cues and have some more of a social cue there when you're planning the date. And the date made the book because it was so horrendous. She actually was still hungry. She went through the McDonald's drive-thru and ate McDonald's on the way home from her supposed dinner date. And her roommate, of course, was laughing at her when he heard all about it. And they never saw that guy again. She never heard from him again either. So stay tuned for more good dates gone bad, hopefully not very bad. Bye.